Welcome everybody to Mild's Culture Plate. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles. And ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages, we have an interesting show for you today. It is Saturday, December 30th, 2023. It's 6 p.m. It's that time again for Mild's Culture Plate. We have an interesting show for you today. I initially thought about removing the Saturday branding and just branding this a Patriot Philosopher sub-brand show, because that's kind of like one of the things I do is when I'm going to go on like a philosophical rant, I tend to brand my live streams the Patriot Philosopher instead of After the Day. But we are going to be doing the Love Does Admonish segment today, so I was a little torn on whether I should keep this a typical Saturday show or go ahead and just brand it for this philosophical discussion that I want to have. And the reason I want to have this philosophical discussion is simple. I have been talking about this retarded calendar, pardon my language. I forgot I'm on Facebook and YouTube. This dumb calendar. I've been talking about this dumb calendar for days, and I'm sick of talking about it. But here's the thing. Like, the calendar thing is a standalone problem for a bigger problem in our society. The calendar is a representation of the larger conversation about labels and gatekeeping. Because ultimately, over the past few days, look, I've had a lot of people, really go hard in the paint with me about what my definition of a conservative is. And right here on this show, on Wednesday, I called myself a conservative. And let me be very clear. I think there's a difference between the noun conservative and the adjective conservative. And upon reflecting, I don't consider myself a conservative. I consider myself a libertarian or a middle-aged Midwestern man with some conservative values. And ultimately, I think that's the greater conversation that's being had around this whole calendar debate. Now, you could talk about pornography and you could talk about sexuality and you could talk about modesty and all of these other issues surrounding this calendar. And let me just take a moment. I don't know. Do we have anyone in the chat? As always, let me just start the show like I normally do before I get too much deeper into that, because I was just trying to set up the show, and instead I started my rant early. We're going to be drinking the Angel's Envy finished rye today. If you would like a toast, if you would like a shout out and a toast, please just say hi in the chat. Let me know you're there. And we'll make this a dialogue, because I would definitely like some feedback from the audience today, if there's much of an audience out there. So, where was I? Oh yeah, the difference between the noun conservative and the adjective conservative. Look, I consider myself as having a lot of labels, and labels are an interesting thing. They're an interesting part of language because ultimately they fucking matter. They fucking matter a lot to the brain being able to process the differences between things, right? You have to be able to name things and label things and understand how things compare and contrast to other things. Oh, hello, there's Darth Sidious. Or Darth Hideous. I'm sorry, Darth Sidious. I'm sorry, Darth Hideous. I'm on a tangent. I'm a little hungover from last night. By the way, folks, Darth Hideous was on Cool Frog's channel with me last night. I was on Cool Frog's channel last night from about 10 p.m. Central to about 6:30 in the morning. And we were talking about every issue across the spectrum. I think at one point we had mentioned aliens. At one point we had talked about the JQ. We talked about, we went real in deep. The Operation Paperclip came up several times. you know, it was definitely a really deep, in-depth discussion about a lot of topics. And yes, we addressed the stupid calendar thing. So again, back to the stupid calendar thing. Oh yeah, cheers, brother. Cheers. Oh yeah, he says in the chat. Let me go ahead and just bring that up here. We didn't talk about the flat Earth, but other than that, all was on the table. Yes, we did not get into that. So labels are important. Labels are important for sorting society, for understanding the differences between things, for comparing things. Names are important. Labels are important. Categorization is important to a society, to a people, to a language. Very important. But then you get into the nitty gritty of how do you gatekeep that, right? And I use the term gatekeep very intentionally here. Because in this whole debate, the term conservative has been dropped a lot. The term Christian or religious has been dropped a lot. And it's important to understand that all of these people involved define religion and define conservatism a little differently. And ultimately, how autistic are we going to be about this? How inane are we going to be about this? How detailed are we going to be about allowing people to use these terminologies to identify themselves? And here's probably one of the biggest examples, other than the example Darth Hideous just gave in the chat here. Labels are important because if I order a Coca-Cola and you bring me a Kraft mac and cheese, I'm gonna call you an effing idiot. Yeah. But let me show you here. This came up on my timeline today. And let me bring it up here. Actually, let me just open the image in a new tab so I'm not calling anyone else out who may be posting this. This individual. I'm not going to mention this individual by name because, quite frankly, I don't have a fundamental problem with this individual. But the quote-unquote conservative movement and the gatekeepers in the conservative movement have a serious problem with the existence of this individual. Now, is this individual allowed to have conservative values and support conservative causes and understand the conservative movement? Yes. Are conservatives able to treat this person like a human being with rights, with decency? Are conservatives able to understand that this person deserves love, deserves a lot of kindness? Does this person have a decent attitude toward themselves? Well, see, when you ask more and more of these questions, well, then you start to get in the weeds about whether or not this person aligns with conservative values. Because ultimately, the concept of conservatism, like the platform, unofficial, official platform of conservatism, is that this person participates in not only self-harm, but predatory behavior outward toward others just by confirming their own wishes about their identity. It's a real problem for conservatives because there are a lot of conservatives that really just don't want to hate this person. And I don't want to hate this person either. I think and I say I think this person has some interesting points, that they are very intelligent on a lot of issues, but under conservative values, I have to acknowledge the reality that this person was unhappy with the body they were born in. I have to acknowledge that this person has some problems that would have been fixed by being a conservative younger in life. But now we're past that. And what do we do about that? it's a very unfortunate thing. And I'm not one to put a label on this person. I don't think that's my place. But now here's what I will say. I don't think by nature you can apply the noun conservative to this person. I think they have conservative values. I think they have a lot of conservative points, and I think they're smart. I think they have thought a bit about philosophy, you know. But when you ask them about sexuality and identity, it kind of breaks down into a joke. And I think for conservatives, that's not a joke. I think for real conservatives, that's not a joke. And definitely, again, you get into the sexualization. And let me go further. Let me go further. Okay, so I looked up, this here, the definition of objective and subjective. Objective means not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering or representing facts. An objective perspective refers to a viewpoint or approach that is unbiased, impartial, and based on facts and verifiable evidence. For example, water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Water has an objective temperature that it must reach in order to boil, which can be quantified, tested, and proved over and over again. The definition of subjective. Subjective means based on or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. Subjective perspective can also be called a personal perspective or an individual point of view. Subjective views do not have to be provable or grounded in fact, though they may incorporate facts. For example, the frosting on that cake makes it too sweet. This is a subjective take. What one person considers too sweet is based entirely on their personal preference. The cake might not be sweet enough for some and just right for others. And so labels are by definition subjective. Labels are by definition subjective. And therefore identity is by definition subjective. But again, gatekeeping is important. Okay, looks like we got somebody. Okay, we got Kyle. Kyle over on YouTube. Welcome, brother. Cheers. I don't hate Blair. She has a good head on her shoulders, I'm assuming. And legitimately has gender dysphoria versus most of the idiots out there who are doing it for clout. Yeah, I think my issue with that is, as a conservative, and again, as a conservative-minded individual, so like for conservatives, I think the treatment for gender dysphoria is getting to the bottom of the gender dysphoria, not, I mean, it may be transition, but, then kind of publicizing that and becoming a sex symbol. And again, we'll get into a lot of the sex symbol stuff here in just a moment. In fact, I'll go ahead and get into that now because, I've already gotten into the weeds enough with the objective versus subjective and how important labels and gatekeeping are. But let's determine why, for example, the Blair White and why the calendar become important gatekeeping issues for a quote Christian or a quote religious conservative. I wanted to bring up Jacob Ellis versus Ohio on Wikipedia, and everyone's familiar with this Supreme Court case to some degree, right? It was, again, the United States Supreme Court involving whether the state of Ohio, consistent with the First Amendment, banned the showing of the film The Lovers, which the state had deemed obscene. And again, ultimately, the reason I brought this up is Justice Potter Stewart's concurrence stating that the Constitution protected all kinds of obscenity except hardcore pornography, he wrote. I shall not today attempt to further define the kinds of material I understand to be embraced within that shorthand description, and I perhaps could never succeed in intelligibly doing so, but I know it when I see it, and the motion picture involved in this case is not that. So ultimately what we have here is Justice Stewart essentially saying that pornography is subjective, but that like a label can be applied, that a gatekeeping can be applied to allow moderate pornography, but that in order to call it hardcore and obscene, that there had to be this fine line somewhere that gets crossed that you can't really define with an actual line. Like you can't ultimately decide where that line is, but you just have to know. And so ultimately, with this whole calendar debate, I think part of the issue is it crossed the line for some religious conservatives. And for some religious conservatives, they can't see the line. They don't know the line's there. Like, because for them, the line's not important. Like that whole puritanical, for lack of a better term, view on sexuality, on commerce, because quite frankly, part of the issue, at least for me, was that it wasn't just the sex. It was that they're marketing sexuality, for lack of a better term, to simps on the internet. And let me be very clear. I don't blame the women, and I don't really blame the beer company for doing that. I blame the horny simps on the internet. And I say that as a horny simp on the internet. And this is why I started the whole conversation. With reaffirming that, I'm not necessarily a conservative. I'm not Christian. I'm not a puritanical person. Darth Hideous says their brain spur crossed the line with me. And yeah, I'm definitely probably part of that. I will full on admit that I have offended a lot of people with my takes on this. But again, I'm not a conservative. I'm just a guy on the internet, admittedly a horny pervert, that looks at this and says, look, for this coming from your corner of the internet seems a little hypocritical. He says, simping not even once. Yep. And so I saw a take earlier that I'm just going to share it and then I'll comment on it. So I guess Gavin McInnes has weighed in on this. And you have this trad Kath Zoomer posting this Bible quote in a meme. But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman to lust after her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Matthew 5:28. Then Gavin says, sorry, Matthew, nobody's abiding by that. You can look, you just can't touch. My wife would have zero problem with me going to a strip club, and I don't because I have a daughter and can't stop thinking about the dad. Okay. But Gavin, you gotta understand your own conflict in this paragraph. It's not about your wife having a problem with you committing adultery. When you say, I have a daughter and can't stop thinking about the dad, you have to acknowledge that you're having a sexualized relationship with that woman on the stage. That's why that's going through your mind. And again, I'm all for strip clubs. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And again, back to Darth Hideous. Thank you, Jesus. And then those aren't Matthew's words; those are Jesus's words. Yeah. It's part of it's part of the chapter, Matthew, in that verse. This is my issue: is a lot of people acknowledge that there's something sexualized involved here, and this is where I find Ashley St. Clair's insistence that it's not hypocritical, because then she will accuse her critics of masturbating to the photo. Well, I don't know what to do about that. I don't know where to go with that. Let me bring this down real quick. But yeah, labels are important. So gatekeeping to some degree is important. Oh shit, damn it. Reopen closed tab. There we go. I accidentally closed the tab. And I saw this and I thought this was funny. Darth laying truth bombs in the chat. He posted like 3 in a row. Sin comes from the heart, not from actions, just like forgiveness comes from the Lord, not from the works. And he says, as I understand it. And then he says, Ashley St. Clair is. Sorry, I kind of combined those there, but it's quicker to read them all at once than to. Okay, so I wanted to share this. This was interesting. Somebody captioned this: pornography for men who believe they're above watching porn. See, this could start a whole debate. Like, is her dress too short? Is her cleavage too low? But yet, she's literally just in her house nightie cooking breakfast. I mean, it's like, is it sexualized? Yes. Is it pornographic? No. Is it graphic? No. But is she essentially trying to appeal to an audience using sexuality? I would argue yes. And I would argue that this is half the reason why the conversation around the stupid calendar has gone the way it has gone. Because no, it's not pornographic, but it is sexualized and it is selling sex to young men. Now, I think you should be able to sell sex to young men to some degree. Oh, God. Oh, the consultant coming in with a bomb. Cheers, brother. Whew. Welcome to the YouTube. What are we? We're at 6:21 p.m. So yeah, we still got plenty of time to cover many of the other issues. I'm glad that most of the reason Darth Hideous says young men definitely buy the sex. I won't bring that up on the screen because I'm about to bring something else up on the screen, but yes, young men definitely buy sex. And ultimately, that's the bigger problem in our society is we need to somehow get through the incels and the Zoomers that being distracted by titties on the internet is really fucking bad. And I say that, and I kind of mentioned last night on Cool Frog Show that I get these algorithms on these video platforms that literally they show me the thumbnail and it's titties, ass, ass, titties, titties, ass, ass on like YouTube shorts and in not TikTok, with Facebook Reels. Like every time the thumbnail is titties, titties, ass, ass, titties. It's like, why is this the freeze frame you decided to show on the click me to watch? Why is this the freeze frame for this video? It's like halfway into the video. Why am I seeing the ass? Oh, yeah, because that's what brings people in the algorithm. Because guys like me subconsciously, on a subconscious level, see that and it triggers the horny and we just click it, not even thinking sexually. It's just Nick Rekieta has this rant that he gives about e-thoughts where he talks about, the lizard brain of men and e-thoughts being on the internet and men just giving them money because it triggers something in us to provide, something evolutionary triggers men to want to provide. It's like we see titties and it just makes us want something more. And so ultimately we have to do something about this. We have to break our conditioning as men to respond to titties every time we see them. And again, I'm adult enough, I'm mature enough that I could recognize this in myself and kind of help my behavior. But the incels, the Zoomers, the younger generation, these kids who don't understand, algorithms, who don't understand the internet, who think they understand, but we have to clown them. We have to make fun of them. We have to, and unfortunately, one of the best ways to do that is to treat internet whores like internet whores. And so when I criticize an Ashley St. Clair, I'm simply saying, look, it's not worth your time or money to buy this fucking calendar. I mean, buy it if you want, but buy it because you support the charity, or buy it because, yeah, it's yay, team conservative or whatever, and then take it and put it in your fucking drawer. But if you're buying it because this woman has a nice ass or nice titties and, hey, I'm throwing money at titties, don't do that. We need to shame the men. Okay. The last thing I want to bring up about the calendar is this new Bryson Gray song. And hang on, let me show another chat from Darth Hideous. We can definitely have that discussion in great length. Yeah, he's talking about young men buying the sex. And so, yeah, let's hear Bryson Gray's new rap about being demonic. Oh, Darth Hideous says, I'll push back heavily against that last statement you made. Which one? The one about men not buying titties anymore? Telling young people not to buy titties? Don't throw money at titties? I don't know. Oh, that we need to shame the men. Well, look. Okay, so when I say we need to shame the men, like, you don't do that in a way that's going to make the men ashamed. You shame the men in a way of saying, hey, this is fucking bad for you. Hey, you see this woman, you see the titties? If you don't know what's behind the titties and behind the brain and what kind of a person she is, or at least what you expect out of her other than her titties, then she might be fucking poisonous. And just throwing money at titties in itself could be poisonous to you in the long run. Like really, you're shaming the woman, you're shaming the sexuality, you're shaming the practice. You're not shaming the man as a person, right? It's like saying, yeah, it's like clowning a guy for drinking the gay beer, right? For drinking the Bud Light. Anyway, let's listen to Bryson Gray's rap, because he kind of doubles down and triples down on everything. And he even mentions Blair White and mentions Ashley St. Clair by name in here. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think this is definitely just trying to be as spicy as he possibly can be. Oh yeah. The Darth Hideous brings up a great point in response to what I said. And I will definitely elaborate further on this. They really want titties, though, and they just don't get no titties in real life. But men are the gatekeepers in marriage. Women are the gatekeepers in sex and sexuality. Yes, and that's one of the biggest problems. I talk a lot on this show about the whole OkCupid study, where it said that women rate over 70% of men as, quote, less than average. If the majority of men are less than the middle of men, like, that doesn't make sense. It means women have too high of a standard. It means women aren't giving men a chance to be the men they can be. And therefore, it is a huge problem with women. And honestly, it's, again, a big part of the sexuality problem gets rooted in the fact that women see men as money flow. And so we kind of got to take a two-pronged approach. We have to make men not be responsible for being a flow of money to the women. And at the same time, we have to, show that, look, if we just dry it up, it'll go broke. So yes, it's a two-pronged approach. But the thing is you're not going to correct the women's behavior until you correct the men's behavior. And you're not going to correct the men's behavior until you highlight on a logical level, because you can't get logical with the whores, right? You can't get logical with whores. If they're going to sell their body, if they're going to make money, if they're going to use that to provide for their life and You're never going to get in the way of that with logic, with health. You're never going to get in the way of that with warnings about what it's going to do for their long term in their life. As long as they're gaining that much benefit from it. See, now the guys, they're not getting the benefit. They're just getting the quick release of dopamine and the payoff and the, they're not getting an actual life advancement. It's not taking care of their needs. And so if we can highlight that for young men and just encourage them to, quote, be better, then, I see that working out better that way than trying to change the women. Pricing. Darth Hideous says Bryson Gay is an effing cringe faggot. And ultimately, that's what we're going to do. We're going to listen to his rap here and analyze how cringe it is. And then we actually have another song I want to play for the cringe. And then we're gonna get into some more viral videos, and then we'll get into the Love Does Admonish. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to clarify on the gatekeeping and labels and language and all of that. I think I hit all the main points I wanted to hit. I thought I would be really more long-winded, but the fact that you guys get most of these things makes it a lot easier to debate. And clarify sort of my position on why, yes, I consider myself conservative, but I'm a pervert too. I'm fallible to the sexualization too. I mean, I like pretty naked women too, but again, I also understand that, they're naked because they want my money. I don't let that affect my marriage, right? I would never buy the calendar to put it on my wall because, quite frankly, I don't want mid women on my wall. Darth Hideous again in the chat. Just for the record, I self-identify as MGTOW since like 2015 when I realized what MGTOW was and why it was, so I've heard most of the arguments by now. Yeah. Okay, so let's listen to Bryson Gray's little victory lap. I think he's because here's the thing. When I was on Cool Frog's channel last night, apparently Ashley St. Clair and Bryson Gray here both had Twitter spaces where they both took victory laps. I'm guessing they're considering at the end of the debate. But like I said, I think personally, the reason I wanted to talk about it today is I think it's a bigger debate than just Calendar Gate. I think it's bigger than just the calendar. I think we need to really have a close examination of who our allies are and why we identify with who we identify with, because that's just it. As I said on Cool Frog's channel last night, I think the far left, the leftists, the far left wing, I think they have a unified identity, even though I think they're more fractured and divided than we are on fundamental values and issues. But because they all fall under that left-wing banner and will just accept whatever the far left does, even if they don't agree with it, because, quote, Orange Man is worse, really enables them to come together under a unified enemy and forget about their own little disagreements and differences. But I think as a conservative, the reason why these things are important for conservatives is our values are more important. Our values are more important than getting along. We're just too damn stubborn to give up our values in order to make friends. All right, so let's listen to this.
Dave, run it up.
So first off, filming on a suburban street, real gangster.
Said 3 words and I got everybody mad. Blair White, Rob Smith, it seem like everybody fast. Trying to change definitions. This conservative class, you can't be a pimp and call yourself conservative dad. I'm about to burn it down. What a message. Y'all say other women jealous, but why? All y'all plastic and you better calm down.
Okay, again, he makes a good point there. You call other women jealous? Well, jealous of what? Are you saying there's something sexual involved here? Are you saying there's beauty standards involved? Are you saying that this is anything more than just taking an innocent conservative photo?
Bryson really is savage. Ask Ashley St. Clair. I'll really call you up. Oh, they mad. Yeah, I got it. How you Christian, but you selling lust to men? That's demonic.
Selling lust to men. That's demonic. See?
Topic, but for Christ, I'm a skate. I should have worked that Sonic. Hey, Okay, now I'm demon hunting. If it's not traditional values, you're not conserving nothing. Y'all got porn brain and sex sales. We all know they hustling. And if you a woman, please don't speak to me. Go get your husband. Am I wrong for saying they should be more covered? Christian women keep it low key like it's Thor's brother. If you a demon, stay away unless you a sword ducker. When I slay demons, I focus, cause they built for us tougher. And by the way, let it truth be told, I don't care about getting invited on none of y'all shows. Even if weapons come in the hands of all of my foes. I obey Christ, so I've been covered since the day that he rose. And to be real, y'all better chill before y'all all get exposed at these conservative events. Cause everyone knows a woman should dress modestly and she should have self-control. So last words, shut up and go put on some clothes.
Okay. Look, that was cringe as fuck. I mean, granted, he's making decent points, but he already like made those points in a Twitter Spaces. And again, I don't hate rap music, but I find it ironic that it's like, yeah, this is like Christian. No, this is definitely not loving thy neighbor. You know, it's a little hypocritical, but you know, it is what it is. Fucking cringe. Okay, no more comments on YouTube right now. All right, so let's bring that down. Let's see another cringe song. Did you folks see this lady? Again, this is the state of the conservative movement. This is the state of the conservative movement. Like they
in the Generation Zers, like I'm a millennial. I'm not proud of it. I'm kind of embarrassed. I don't know what the fuck happened. But I wrote a song to the millennials, to the Generation Z, an uplifting
millennials
life
and Gen
advice
Z.
song.
I wonder.
It's called "Fuck Your Feelings."
Oh, really?
We went from several generations of hardworking Americans to a bunch of young fucking wussies.
This is the same.
Home with their moms until they're fucking 31 and can't take a punch because they're pussies. Can't make them get a job even though they're all in debt.
How conservative to just sit and cuss about young people.
Correct. They're crying and whining. It's gotten pretty scary. So here's a song for all the
while showing your
fairies.
cleavage and shoulders.
Fuck your feelings. No one gives a fuck about your issues, your problems, your shitty fucking luck. This generation's fucked. We're a bunch of fucking weaklings. So wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings. That's right. Fuck your feelings. Fuck your feelings too.
Oh, no! Now wait. I'm assuming she was pointing at her boyfriend or husband. I don't see a ring, so boyfriend.
It don't affect me, but we don't need 1,000 terms for your sexuality. We're so damned emotional, been crying for a while. But the world can't run on rainbows and unicorn smiles. There's a solution. If you shut up and listen, put the effort in a job that you're putting into bitching. Suck it up, buttercup. Do this and you'll be fine. And grow up hair and wipe the tears from your vagina. That's right. Fuck your feelings. No one gives a fuck about your
You can't ever let a woman on stage because she will definitely use the word vagina.
We're a bunch of fucking weaklings. So wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings. That's right. Wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings. Sing it with me. Wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings.
Okay. That was cringy as fuck. Okay, so again, you know, that kind of falls into my previous criticism about conservatives. But let me clean this whole debate, at least my portion of the debate, up. Now again, do I think you can be a whore and have conservative values? Do I think you can be Blair White and have some conservative values and support conservative things? Yes, I do. I have no problem. Like, that last video was cringe. Like, but as long as she's not pretending to be a role model or a Christian or an influencer, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, it was pretty funny, but it was cringe. It was really cringe. Speaking of cringe, okay, now let's get into women in relationships. Darth Hideous says, I'm not going to lie, I at least laughed at this more than once. Yeah, I mean, look, she had a couple funny things, but it was still cringe. Share screen. Speaking of cringe. So even people in committed monogamous relationships have their own level of cringe. Now, this was a video I ran into on the internet, and I immediately ran to my girlfriend who I've been with for 13 and a half years. And I had to show her this, and I'm like, can you fucking believe these people?
This time of year, we love to have our big annual partner summit. We talk about our favorite memories from the last year and what we learned, and then set some goals individually and together for the next year.
You're fucking kidding me. You're fucking kidding me. This is what you think a committed relationship is supposed to look like. This is what you think compatibility is supposed to look like. You're treating love and passion like goddamn conference meetings and filling out reports at work. This is corporate activity. You're treating the person you bang like your corporate boss.
We talk about how we're going to help each other and sum it up with a mission statement. We make a whole date night out of this, and honestly, I look forward to it every year. I've put together a little guide for you guys with all the questions we use.
Imagine getting progress reports for your fucking love. What happens if you get a bad one? What happens if you get a bad progress report? What happens if you get a good progress report? Huh? Does my vagina salary, the number of times I get laid, does that go up like a raise? Like what happens when I get a good progress report at work? Just look at this guy. And one of the captions of one of the, I've seen this reposted by several people. One of the captions said, yeah, this guy looks like his soul is just gone. She looks like she hasn't had much of a soul to begin with. But to corporatize your marriage, holy crap.
So you can find that in my bio if you want to give it a try with your partner.
Here's
how we reset for the new.
Okay. We're going to bring that down real quick. So that was that. That was insane. Oh, this woman. We're going to do this again. Even though we were just talking about all these topics. Dorothy says, "Da sex." I better be getting more da sex. Oh, this woman. So let's examine what this woman really wants out of a relationship. Let's give this a label. Can we give this a label? Let's give this a label.
Can we please normalize intimacy without commitment? Like, I want to cuddle all night with a boy. I want him to compliment me. I want to compliment him. I want to hold hands.
Okay, we'll stop right there and we'll revisit that in just a second. Because we have a new user in the chat. Friend of the show, DNL Mentors. Welcome, brother. Cheers. A bad progress report is therapy. You know, this is almost worse than therapy, but no, maybe not. Anyway, so yeah, she wants all these things. Let's go back a little bit. Intimacy without commitment. Without commitment. Intimacy without commitment. You mean like every other woman on the planet has been doing for a while. Only let's see more about what kind of intimacy she wants.
Like, I want to cuddle all night with a boy.
Cuddle. Okay. Well, you can't have friends with benefits. You know, yeah. She wants this middle ground between a one-night stand and a boyfriend, right? Is that where we're going with this?
I want him to compliment me. I want to compliment him. I want to hold hands. I want to go on dates together. I want to like text them, Snapchat them all day, every day. But then I also want to be able to disappear. Like, I want to ghost them for a week and not have them wonder why I'm doing that. Like, I want a boyfriend, but not the relationship. I want to hop on, hop off, pop in, pop out. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that needs to be normal.
Okay, I got it. I got the woman's solution. This is perfect. In fact, this is what I'm looking for in my real life. You need to be a side bitch. You need to be a side piece. See, the problem is she's done convinced herself that she's monogamous, right? And any other woman existing in the sphere of influence with this guy is bad. But yet she wants to be able to step back from the relationship and not be committed. It's having your cake and eating it too. You want to be a side bitch. You just don't want to admit it. You just don't want another woman involved in the same guy's life. You want him to go be playing sports or working on cars or something else. You just don't want him around another woman. But I'm telling you, everything you're asking for is possible in a side bitch relationship. You want to be a side bitch. Sorry. I had to rant a little bit about that. I kind of heard that. I picked up on that. And meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, we have this woman.
Welcome back to part 2 of some conventional or unconventional things me and my husband do in our marriage. So the first one is I don't leave the house after dark by myself. This is not a control thing. This is a safety thing. I've had a couple encounters and I don't wish to have any more. Along with leaving the house, I always notify my husband when I'm gonna go somewhere and when I arrive. It's safety. Why not, right? And we always share locations with each other.
Okay, so now wait a minute. Let me stop you right there. Okay, so you've said that you've had some unpleasurable encounters and you don't wish for that to happen again. So you're taking responsibility for your own safety, but at the same time having your husband involved in that. Hey, holy shit. It's literally what I've been advising women to do and being told, no, men should just keep their hands to themselves and men should just not attack people. Well, yeah, okay, true. I don't like predators either, but they exist. And yeah, I wish we could hunt down predators and criminals and just end them, right? We could end their influence over our society. I wish we could do that, but unfortunately, every time we conservatives start talking about doing things like that, we're told we're, a problem. But what do I know? Yeah, cheers to this lady for at least having some responsibility and involvement in her own safety.
I really recommend the Life 360 app. It notifies you when your partner arrives or leaves, and it notifies you if their battery is low. I love it. Number 2, we don't do opposite sex friendships.
Okay, so now, before I get into what she's saying now, what she just got done saying about this app, the controlling women are going to see this and get ideas, unfortunately.
I don't think a woman needs to have a male best friend. Why? Any companionship or company that I need, I can get from another woman. Number 3, and this one's...
I have a lot of thoughts about that. She's not wrong. It's just an unfortunate part of our life. And here's what I will say. It does become unfortunate that so many people are unable to establish friendship boundaries. It's a fact of life. We try to establish friendship boundaries and people could be friends for years and we don't know what will trigger an intimate moment. And, as gay as this may sound, and I'm going to come full out of the closet with this. As gay as this may sound, like, intimacy comes from a place of connection. It really does. One hand, there's the physical sexual attraction. But let's face it, there are a lot of people, they don't want to be friends with ugly people. You can. It's possible if you find something within them that makes them a worthwhile friend. But even in friendships, we get the visual and the attraction. You know, there's always something lingering there, right? And usually what prevents a sexual relationship or a romantic relationship are boundaries and something about the incompatibility of the lifestyle, right? It's not necessarily that I wouldn't date that person. I just wouldn't date them for what their goals in life are, or I wouldn't date them for what their tastes are, or I wouldn't date them for XYZ issue. But usually if somebody's like around us and they're our friends, we've kind of pre-selected them in almost the same way we pre-select our partners. I need to hurry up and get through this though, because we're already way into the segment for Love Does Admonish, and I definitely want to get that in today.
It's going to ruffle some feathers. I submit and I serve my husband. This is a biblical thing, so don't twist this into something that it's not. It is a blessing to be my husband's helpmate, and the Bible
Hashtag feminists.
has the man of the household, not the woman, so he leads. Number 4, we don't involve any outsiders or family members.
This one is
into
the
our
most important.
disputes. This is important because arguments, disagreements, whatever, need to stay within the marriage, and when you involve other people, it causes more issues, and most likely people choose sides, and you just don't want that.
Especially the choosing sides, they will reinforce that side.
Into consideration. So with my hair, my clothes, I like to wear the things that he likes, and typically he's not going to like something that is...
Again, to get back into the objective and subjective, they'll reinforce the one side. Against all objective reality, they will take a subjective stance of, well, she's complaining about this, so she has a problem with this, so therefore she should just leave the guy. You know, they will reinforce the worst outcomes. Or vice versa. They'll say he should leave her.
So outside of my norm, he's going to like the things that he sees me happiest in, and that's usually pink and bright colors, and he loves my hair more naturally curly, so that's what I do most.
You know, my ex-wife and I got in a big fight because she wanted to get a matching tattoo with her stepmother. And I said, look, I don't control your body. You can get a tattoo if you would like to, but I'm going to tell you it will affect our sex life. And I can't, like, that's not something about me I can change. Like, when we're naked, like, I don't care if you're fat or if you're overweight, but like ink on your skin is really distracting to me. Like when I'm trying to look at your body parts and be aroused, and you know, like this will affect our sex life. Like this is just a preference of mine. This is a thing about me. It will affect us. But you have my support. If you want to go get a tattoo, if it means that much to you, if it's a value you want to display, like I care, but it's Darth Idiot says, I'd rather have a tatty than a fatty. Yes. Yeah, a lot of men feel that way. I don't. I'm a little bit of a chubby chaser. I enjoy bigger women, but you know, to me, that's, if I have to choose one, like to me, it's harder for me to overcome a tattoo. Because I could always look at, you know, the bigger titties or the bigger butt, you know, than worry about the belly or the thighs. Or, you know, I like big thighs. So anyway, without getting too much into my own horniness here, let's get back to what she's saying.
At the time, a lot of the comments in my other video, people were asking, what does he do?
Yeah, the moral of my story there is wanting your partner to find you attractive is important. Like listening to what they have to say about what you do better or, you know, what you do worse, you know, how you are improving your own physical attractiveness to them. Like you could be attractive to 99.9% of the people on the planet, right? You can go get plastic surgery, whatever. But maybe your partner is like, yeah, but you know, I kind of like your imperfections. I don't need you to be plastic. Like, I kind of like you the way you are. Like, that's an important thing. That is very vital to a relationship.
Do for me. And I just want to correct you guys on something. A lot of Western women don't sit here and think, what can I do to make my man happy? No, they think, what is he going to do to make me happy?
Oh, shit.
You guys don't understand the benefits that you reap when you think about your partner before yourself. Let me know what you guys think and comment what other videos you want to see on traditional marriage.
And look, she's right. She's right. I'm sorry. She's right about most of that. It's a little cringe. It's a little cringe. I'm not going to lie, but she's fucking right. Okay. I was going to watch a couple of just freaked out videos, but no, we don't need them. We don't need them. We're going to move on to love don't judge. Love does admonish. So this one's going to be a little less on the admonishment because I don't know that I'm going to see much of a problem here. But this is funny. We a little funny. This is a little unique and a little weird. Okay, so we've done. Hey, shut up! I can cook. Says bigger women. Okay, sorry, I missed when you first said that. But welcome to the chat. Shut up! I can cook over on YouTube. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. As always. Always good having you in the chat. Cheers. Okay, so we're going to do this. Love don't judge. I don't cheat on my small boyfriend.
It's Jet. He fell in love with Angel.
This is Jet. He fell in
Jet
love
was
with
just
Angel.
a kid when he contracted.
Okay, now wait a minute. So he's a little short. He's not a midget. We did the lesbian midget a while back. We did one with a lesbian midget a while back, but this is a little different. Let's see here.
Contracted an infection.
It affected my growth plates in my hip and my knees up here. My legs just never grew.
So he's got
Though
one
he's
leg. He's got one leg that's super, super small and one leg that's semi-normal, but overall he's a bit short because he had an infection in his hip. Okay, just never grew through his disability. Hey, we got yet another over on Rumble. Another person showing up for the party here over on Rumble. We have Sanglant86 over there saying the Kin Onion work sharp, takes some metal off quick and in a hurry. I have no idea. I recognize that's words. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Onion work sharp. That just sounds like too many nouns. I don't know. Cheers, and I'm out of Angel's Envy Rye in the glass. So if anyone else shows up, I'm going to have to pour another glass. So yeah, it's been a successful show. Lots of people showing up to say hi. Welcome, Sanglant. Good seeing you. Okay, never grew through his disability here.
Ability didn't stop him from finding love. Others are often cruel to the couple about their height difference.
She's 1000% cheating on you. People would like to say she's just using me for my money or
Money?
she's a gold digger.
Now wait a minute. Are you getting disability money? What's going on? We got to hear where your money come from. See, this is part of the problem I hate with this Love Don't Judge show is they always drop little stuff. Oh, belt-based sharpener. Okay, cool. All right. But yeah, so Love Don't Judge does this quite a bit. They they drop a line like that, like, oh, he's got money? Like, okay, well, where's your money come from? And why is this important to the story? Let us know the other detail. They always leave out an important detail. And now, wait a minute. Now, hang on. Wait, I just noticed something. In this middle picture, is he wearing a skirt too? I got to go back a couple seconds here.
People would like to say she's just using me for my money or she's a gold digger.
Oh, no, that's shorts. Okay.
All the time they get upset. They say a lot of hurtful stuff.
Hurtful stuff. Well, look, the conservative in me says, look, it's the internet, grow a pair.
And people judge us because of our height difference.
So we met on social media.
But yeah, don't
He asked me
hate
for
on
my
short
phone number.
people.
We exchanged phone numbers, and he was like, you know, we should meet up for my birthday. And I was like, when's your birthday? He was like, November 1st. And I was like, that's my birthday. So we decided to meet a little early.
We spent about 3 days together, and after that, we just hit it off. It was like my soulmate. Initially, when I first...
Okay, so so far I don't find any problems with this. Look, women, you should be more like this woman. Like, okay, so yeah, the guy's not tall. Overlook, you know, here's the thing. If you have your list, like the list of all these Darth idiots are manlets people. I mean, we're about to find out, right? That's the point of this Love Does Admonish. But, you know, overall, you see these women online, they have this laundry list of must-haves. Like, really, if they would just overlook like a quarter of them, they wouldn't be such angry harpies.
Spoke to Angel on social media. I was like, I have a little leg. And when I told her that,
I have a little leg.
she was like, okay, cool. And then we just kept conversating, you know? So it was like, she didn't really care.
My man's Jack is a
I gotta
short
appreciate
king.
the Jordans with the
I
extra
wasn't
padding on the
born
bottom.
like this. I actually caught staph infection in the hospital. It affected the growth plates in
Oh,
my
staph
hips and
infection,
my
man, that's
knees.
bad.
And it also left me completely deaf in my left ear.
Oh, deaf in his left ear. Look, folks. Yeah. Of all the reasons this is funny, man. Look, I've had loved ones that have had infections in the hospital, staph infections, and that shit spreads. It eats your body up, man. I feel for this guy. Holy shit, he's been through fucking biological warfare here, man. He's a survivor.
I remember all the way up till 2, 3, maybe 4, my legs were the same height, but because of that staph infection, it stunted the growth of my growth plate, so my legs just never grew.
When we started talking to each other, we was already at that vibe, so we like just clicked. So when he told me, I was like, okay, whatever, I don't care. I didn't really judge him. It was like a special thing.
I
We
like
had the
this.
same
I
birthday,
can't
so
hate
looked
these
past
people.
His flaw. I was like, that's something special.
But I want to know how he makes money.
Your hands are way too cold for that.
No, look, they warm.
your hands are
Let
cold.
me try.
That's cold. That's cold.
This is kind of
It's
adorable.
love. Most of the judgment we get is really on social media. They say I'm a gold digger. They say I'm using him for his money. He get disability checks. His
Shut Up,
girl
I Can
is
Cook
giving
says
off a lot of
Sanglant
man
is
vibes.
boozed up. Well,
Glad
I'm
not
boozed
the
up
only
too.
one thinking his girl is actually his guy. Like, God,
What?
They say a lot of hurtful stuff.
His
She's
guy.
1000%.
Okay, so one's in the chat if you think she gives off masculine vibes, right? If she seems like the quote guy of the relationship, because if that's the criticism, I don't understand this. Like, I'm not understanding this other than just hating on the guy for being short, which is gonna happen.
Percent cheating on you. Your rap name should be Leggy Smalls.
Leggy Smalls.
That's
Holy
'cause I give
shit.
that-
You better stop throwing around that medical money.
Medical
She's there for
money.
that
Okay,
check.
there we go. She
Get
did
your
it for the
leg
check.
chopped off and get a fake leg. Amputate your little foot and get a fake one.
Go to the body part section at Walmart.
Joke's on you, 'cause I bought a fake leg on Amazon.
Oh shit.
They
Oh
always say
shit, he
that.
did.
I don't look happy when I be with him. Oh, she looks miserable. Oh, she's definitely using him. She don't even look happy. It's like, how can you tell just from looking at my face? Like,
Well, okay, so look, in this video you look happy as fuck. Like in this little but yeah, on those TikTok videos you just showed, yeah, you kind of you looked robotic, lady, like you didn't have any emotion. So it's the way you project yourself to the world.
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Good leggy
Yeah,
smalls.
it's crazy.
It gets to me. It doesn't get to him. He thinks
You
it's
think she's
funny, but
manly,
to me,
Cookie?
I guess because we're different. It actually bothers me because I'm like, I'm not a guy. We've been together for 10 years. How am I using you? Or how am I a gold digger? But I understand because they don't know from the outside looking in. He used to read the comments all the time and get upset. And I used to be like, stop reading the comments.
She
Only
does
thing
have a pretty
I
big
can say
watch
that
on her
really
hand.
bothers me about it is
So does he though.
people feel like on social media, people with disabilities can't have a good career. They can't have a good wife. They can't have kids. They can't have money.
What is your
they can't work
career?
for themselves. We're numb to
I
it
see
now.
money.
Like, you can say
Where-
anything
what's the
gonna hurt,
career?
but
They
that's
never
not
tell
cool.
us.
Nobody, no human should be numb enough to where nothing affects us emotionally. This is the
Okay,
jet
we're about
cave
halfway
where
through.
all the magic happens. Where you see the the cool shoes with the lifts
Okay.
on it.
So
The
yeah,
way
he's
this
got all
started
these Jordans.
was,
Look at that.
Me standing like,
Look at that. That is amazing. Like, do you get those modified somewhere, or can you like ask Nike, hey, look, I really like these Jordan 19s or whatever. Can you get those with like a 9-inch sole? Not really manly. If been together 10 years, maybe she loves them. Yeah, it seems like they've been together a while, but I don't know how long. Maybe they'll tell us before the end of this. But man, look, I'm definitely not a sneakerhead, but the fact that he can get so many collector pairs of sneakers with that extra padding on them is kind of neat.
like this. I stand like this naturally. And then one day I looked at a picture of myself and I said, wouldn't it be cool if I tilt myself and made it look like I'm flying? And this is what we come to right here, the infamous jetpack boot. In 2018, I actually got the album called The Jetpack Kid.
The
so it all
Jetpack
started really
Kid.
from the music. The
Oh,
music is
I'm
what
dead
turned
now.
the
Oh
jetpack
man.
Into this.
I want to make
video.
it clear, I'm
I was
laughing with
about
you.
3 or 4 years old. We walked into a doctor office and they gave me a boot on my shoe, orthopedic lift. Ever since then, I've just been wearing a lift on my shoes. When I was younger, I didn't care about having a little leg and a boot on my shoes. But when I got into about high school, that's when you start becoming more self-conscious. And that's when I kind of started worrying more about the shoes I have on. So the best thing.
Okay, so first off, we got to go back to Cookie here. I would not date a man that wears sneakers. No way. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Look, I wear sneakers sometimes, but yeah, for the most part, I wear like fucking slip-ons or work boots. But okay, so but back to this guy. So my mind is racing here. So yeah, when he says that they gave him orthopedic lifts, or not orthopedic, but they gave him the lifts. Yeah, my brain says, yeah, it's probably not a good idea for somebody's knee to go full on fucking 90 degrees every time you take a step. So yeah, that probably has saved the cartilage in his right knee. But again, that's just my analysis. I'm not a fucking doctor, so.
What to get the coolest sneakers. A lot of time the orthopedics, I would bring shoes that have like bubbles in the soles and they would tell me they couldn't cut them, but I would force them to cut it. God behold, they were able to put these orthopedics on these nice designer shoes. That's what initially started me, wearing these designer and brand name shoes, the orthopedic. I just wanted to be cooler.
So he's got a service that adds them,
people want you to be fine with the bare minimum, and I don't think that's cool. I own over 100 pairs of shoes. The process of getting an orthopedic boot on these shoes is, oh my God, it's crazy. The quickest I ever got a shoe bag was probably in 3 weeks, but generally it takes about, nowadays, 3 to 6 months for probably one shoe. I'm always giving my orthopedic probably over 10 pairs of shoes, so I can understand why it takes such a long process. It costs $165 per boot to put the shoe on. I wish I could say an expensive hobby, but it's more like an expensive hobby in medical. The way I looked at it when I walk outside, people gonna stare at my shoes or my legs regardless. So I always figured metal.
Okay, now wait a minute. So I just showed him in a car. I mean, I guess if he's driving with his right leg, that's not a big deal, right?
We'll have like the coolest sneaker on.
I think it's actually cool because I never seen nobody do this before, and the kids love him. Like when we go out, they be like, "Oh my God, you're the guy with the shoe! You're the guy with the shoe!" Like every time we go out, they just love him. And our son.
See, now that's awesome. Being a local celebrity for it,
it's
yes.
Flamingo Man.
Yeah. Okay. So this is so fucking wholesome.
Over 1 million followers, probably over 1 billion views on TikTok. And the very first video I threw up did 2 million views. And ever since then, we just kept posting. And then eventually it came to me sharing my fiance into our videos.
The first video that we did was like.
Oh, now wait a minute. I gotta do something here. Wait, I gotta go back. Look, she's wearing his fucking shoe. Watch the middle.
Sharing my fiance
right here. She's wearing his shoe and walking like him. Like that fucking kills me, right? That fucking kills me. Like on one hand, it's fucking adorable. On the other hand, man, it's so typical.
It was like In our dining room, it was like acting like we was in a museum. He's trying to come up to me, trying to, holler at me or whatever. And I'm like, I don't date short guys. And then he stands on his hind legs like, what about now? It shows that just because you got a disability, you can still have family.
Now
a nice,
that's
beautiful
kind
girl,
of like,
and
on the
all this
one
other
hand,
stuff.
it's a little funny, but it's like, come on.
Because, people hate. People do not like relationships. They were like, how he get a girl with a little leg? And I'm like this, what am I doing wrong? It's like, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just judging people instead of, taking the time out to actually get to know them.
Keep being negative in our comments. Helps the algorithm. There it is. I guess we just gotta wait and see what the people are going to say.
Yep. Hopefully they like it.
Hey man, let this be hope for all the short guys in the
One
world.
thing my parents always taught me was never judge a book by its cover. You
Short
never know
guys,
what
rise
someone's
up.
going through or any of that.
When I met you, it showed me that
Literally.
there is hope. There is
I'm
somebody
sorry.
out there that could love you for you and just not unconditionally from your parents. And I think I needed to see that, and that's what showed me and gave me motivation.
This is the first time on Mild's Culture Plate, I will agree and say love don't judge. This one. But again, like the whole thing was, like one of the things was that they were being criticized for gold digging, and we don't know where he gets his money from. So it's like, is he loaded? Is he known to be loaded? Like that's my big question. Like, okay. And why do they think you cheat on him? Like, do they see you with other guys, or is it just this, oh, he's short? Like, I don't know. Some of it's a little confusing, but on the surface, what you have, the little bit of their relationship you have shown us, yeah, that doesn't judge. So, no admonishment this time. No admonishment this time. And look, I totally did that without the logo up in the corner here. Love does admonish right there. All right. Darth Hideous says, sounds like he's a social media influencer. Yeah, something's got to be something here. And Shut Up I Can Cook says, I could put this man in my pocket. No thanks. God bless him. I mean, yeah, but like I was saying earlier, you got to overlook one little thing. I mean, for you, it's the shoes, the shortness, and several other things. But, for most women, if they overlook the one thing, he might be a decent enough person for her. And I always advise people, look, it took a while for me. Earlier in the show, I said I was kind of into bigger girls. Look, I like a little weight on women, a little bit. It took me a while to be okay with that because the first two women I ever dated were fucking rail thin, right? Fucking skinny, fucking barely had curves at all. And it really took a while for myself to get comfortable with overcoming this ultimate thing about attraction in my brain. And eventually it rewired itself the other way, that now I see a girl that thin, it reminds me of my ex. And then when I think about my ex, like, she had the frame of a teenage boy, really. And so it kind of disturbs me. Like it didn't feel feminine in retrospect. And anyway, so I always tell people, try to overcome one thing. Like, if the person's just like so unattractive that you like, it's so far off fucking left field. But how can I marry a man I can carry or put in my purse? I'm not telling you to. And definitely if there's a lot of things about him that are unattractive to you, and I can clearly see that this guy is, and besides, he's got a woman. He doesn't want you anyway. But yeah. If there's one thing you can overlook about a guy, overlook it. Anyway, that's our show for today. We have definitely went over the hour mark. I am late getting ready for the gym. I got to get to the gym. I got to work off the rest of these pounds. I'm still, after almost a month, I am still at 242. I just cannot get it to click over to the 39. I'm 242 still. But it's all good. It's all good. I lost the 60 pounds. I went through the medical issues I was going through, and I've come out the other side. We had an interesting show today with everything we talked about. Thank you, everybody who showed up. Sanglent, Darth Hideous, Shut Up I Can Cook, DNL Mentors, and Kyle Kluken and the consultant. Yeah, all of y'all. Thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. I'm probably, this is a huge probability, sometime on Monday afternoon, New Year's Day. I generally try to do some kind of stream of some sort on a holiday. So if there's a holiday that requires me to be off of work on a Monday, I try to do some kind of stream on Monday. This week, I'm going to do, down in the description of this is my link to Twitch. I'm going to try to do a Twitch watch party. If you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, I'm going to do a Twitch watch party. Damn it, now I'm having a brain fart for the damn name of the movie. The child trafficking movie from the summer. What the hell's the name of it? Oh my god. I'm having a brain fart. Oh. Darth Hideous says, get your life together, fat ass. Shut Up I Can Cook says you're looking thin, mild. Thank you both. I appreciate it. And then Darth Hideous says, I'm not as good as fat shaming as Rackets. God damn it, what's the name of that damn movie? Sound of Freedom. Yes. Sound of Freedom. We're going to be watching Sound of Freedom sometime on Monday afternoon on my Twitch channel. So if you have Twitch and you have Amazon Prime, or you have a way to sail the seven seas, so be it. I don't recommend that, but you do what you do. If you have a way to sail the seven seas, or if you have an Amazon Prime account, we will be doing a watch-along party for Sound of Freedom Monday afternoon. I'm aiming for about 2 or 3 p.m. Central Time. So keep an eye on my X account, my Facebook account down in the description. There's links to all 3 of those. Also links to, Facebook, locals. All those links are down in the description. Follow me on those platforms. Yes, DNL Mentor says Sound of Freedom. Yes, thank you for the help. Yeah, we will be watching that on Monday. So that's the next time you can see me here on Mild's Culture Plate. Darth Hideous says Twitch is AIDS. Yes, Twitch is AIDS. I don't like Twitch, but I do like movies, and that gives us a chance to watch movies with our audience. So I will be doing that at some point on Monday. Like I said, probably around 2 or 3 p.m. So keep an eye out on my social media. Everyone here, if you have not done so, please do me a big favor. Click the thumbs up on whatever platform you're watching me on, whether it be Facebook. Because yes, we're live on Facebook, not X this time. I think I'm going to keep going live on Facebook instead of X. X is kind of like, yeah, you kind of scroll by, you might see it. But Facebook is a little more of a dedicated video, like being a side thing. So I'm live on Facebook this time. I'm gonna play with that for a while. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble right now. So everyone out there, yes, definitely try to go for Rumble. TNL Mentors also says Twitch is for pedos. Go Rumble, yeah. And then Cookie says Twitch is what? Twitch is for pedos. Yes, Twitch is AIDS and pedos. Yes, folks. Yes. So if you're new here, which I don't really think anyone is super new here. I think everyone has seen me at least somewhere or at least once. If you're new here, take the time, watch a second video. Just even if you got to go to bed and keep it playing in the background, it helps with the algorithm. Share it off platform to someone you know or someone you like or on your feed somewhere. That helps with the algorithm too on other social medias. And yeah, like and subscribe. Let's see. I thought I had something, but nope.
Lord, it's a damn shame. Lord.
Oh, sorry. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Please like and follow. Yeah, please like and follow. And yeah, all that good stuff. And let's see. Until next time, which would be Monday And if you don't show up for the Twitch party Monday, it'll be Wednesday, 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. Central. Right here, same platform you're watching right now. Until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast the haters. Happy fucking New Year. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. Have a good, happy New Year, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.